All right, Georgia and Iowa State. So we see this in baseball. We see this in NBA. You got a team that is tanking.
I need to see what Iowa State player is going to crack the Georgia rotation here.
I think there's actually two who really, really could. And I think Georgia this year sees that Bama is down a little bit. What a coup would be to stick it to Nick Saban and beat the Tide and have Nick Saban go over with Bryce Young as far as national titles as his quarterback, right? And like, I'm not saying it's Nick Saban's last best shot to win a national title, but I think it's common sense that this was one of their best rosters they're going to have, unless one of these quarterbacks they have on the roster ends up being really, really good. Ohio State might be really great. But other than that, I mean, if Georgia gets some guys here, they could really cement themselves as the clear number one team in the country. But they're going to have to give up a lot. So Georgia needs a pass rusher in the worst way, right? Nolan Smith's probably their best pass rusher right now. He's just okay. And they kind of need somebody who's a stud at receiver. And Iowa State's entire offense is this guy named Xavier Hutchinson. He gets like 16 targets a game. He's a pretty good player. They also have Will McDonald, who's one of the best pass rushers in the country. Georgia, for you guys who are home, maybe don't know or don't follow these guys, Amarius Mims is probably a stud left tackle. He's played really well in spots this year. He's their backup because Georgia's offensive line is loaded. And Michael Williams was a top 10 player in the country last year on the defensive line. So Iowa State punts on their season. They almost certainly miss a bowl if they do this, which I think would suck for them. It would kill their bowl streak. But they do get to rebuild around two really nice pieces. Both of Iowa State's tackles this year have terrible grades per PFF. So I looked at their rosters to get where do they need to upgrade. You got another year of control for Marius Mims. You get Michael Williams for 2 more. And Georgia has big-time upgrades here, I think, as a pass rusher and certainly at receiver as well. And since you guys tell me how good Stetson Bennett is, he's going to take full advantage of Xavier Hutchinson.
Now, do I get portal protection on these trades?
Portal protection?
Yeah, that's what we said at the start.
Good,
right.
Yeah,
they can't portal out.
Stop taking this trade. I think this is a good trade for both
I agree. And beefing up an offensive line, that makes Matt Campbell happy. Bringing in somebody like, I know that we want 5-star culture, 5-star hearts, but actual 5 stars will work too if we want to be able to, make sure we can continue to run the ball effectively. I think this is right at the heart of what you're looking for. An Iowa State team that has 4 losses, but what's combined margin of 14 points? Is that right? Like they continually have been coming up on the wrong end of this. It just ain't your year. I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and make the most of what we can. Let's build for the future within our identity. And then for Georgia, you're 100% right. Pass rush and receiving option. I like this a lot. I think this trade goes through.